Sarah. I am a small mammal keeper here at Central Florida Zoo, and we are currently in our Cotton-top Tamarin exhibit. Now, throughout these different segments, you have seen a bunch of different animals and a lot of different exhibits. Each exhibit is unique for that animal's individual needs. So cotton-tops, they are strictly arboreal, which means that they live their lives in the trees, up high in the canopies. So in this exhibit, we have tons of branches, tons of props that give them tons of choice and control of where they want to go and how to climb. So these types of exhibits are really important for climbers like our cotton-tops. Because they are great climbers, that means they love to run up and down branches, jump on different props, and some of our props are even movable, which allows them to get that type of exercise and stimulation that they need in their own environment. The other thing that you'll notice in all of our exhibits is there's a lot of greenery. We have tons of plants that naturally grow here to give that natural element to a lot of our exhibits. It allows for areas for them to forage, find some different insects, even plants that they can naturally eat, which is great for them. So one of the biggest things that I like to do for a lot of our animals to mentally or physically stimulate them is I love to move the props around. So it's kind of like changing the feng shui of a room. So one of the props I do have here is a bamboo piece that I made to be a movable prop. So I'm gonna hook it up, we'll see how many animals wanna check it out, and hopefully they like it. So the big thing about having these movable props is, once again, it's gonna move while they're on it, and that's gonna give them that natural response to get very good at balancing, being able to move around. Now, I do have some worms as well for them. It's a high value food that they love, and we're hoping that we can get them a little bit more close and personal with you guys. Cotton-tops, soups. We have a couple that are waiting in the corner. I'll show them that I have some good stuff for them. Hippo. Hi guys. It's a little bit different, but we're gonna step this way. We also have our lovely scale. This scale has a perch that we made for our cotton-tops. It's something that makes them naturally sit comfortably, and we can get some weights on our cotton-tops. They are a smaller monkey. Logan, here. Come on, guys. So they are a smaller monkey, and by getting those weights on them, very good, we can see how much their weight is fluctuating. So it can fluctuate pretty dramatically. All right, you did a good job. You can come over here for me. Thank you. And knowing how their weight is, we can figure out if we need to increase their diet, decrease their diet, or to see how an individual is doing health-wise. Good job. And this is really comfortable. It's all voluntary, so at any point they can choose to not participate or participate, which if we have all of them participating, come on guys, this way. Good job. Step. On the way. There we go. Now it is mom, dad, and their 4 kids, so you can imagine the kids can be a little bit crazy. So the other thing that we have here in the exhibit is we have tons of places for them to go. So we have our main exhibit here. They have a den. You can think of the dens kind of like as a bedroom area for them. And then on the far side, there's another part of the exhibit. I like to think of it as kind of like the rec room or the living room. So it gives each animal the space they need. But they also come together very easily as being a family group. They learned a long time ago. They have strength in numbers. Good job. Okay. Now at this point, if we have any questions, I will feel free to answer those.
Okay, Molly wants to know how much they weigh.
So cotton-tops typically weigh a little bit less than a pound. So they're all around about 500 to 600 grams that I'm weighing them in grams. Yes, it's a very small amount, but that is the natural weight that you'll find for them.
Gabriella's curious how much they eat.
Cotton-tops eat 3 times a day for us. They have really fast metabolisms, and they do eat fruits, vegetables, and insects. They do love their bugs. So in the morning, they're gonna get kind of like a chow that's gonna give them the extra nutrition that they need. In the noon time, right around here, they're gonna get fruits and vegetables and those extra worms. And then in the afternoon, at their PM diet, they'll get a mixture of all of that.
Cool. I'm gonna combine 2 questions. Where are they from, and how many are left in the wild?
So Cotton-top Tamarins, unfortunately, they are a critically endangered animal. It's been estimated anywhere from 300 to about 2,000. Tracking them in the wild is very hard because they are a smaller monkey. It's kind of hard to find them all, to figure out who's who. And they only are native to Colombia, in a northwestern area of Colombia.
how you tell them apart is one question, and then someone said, do they all have the exact same pattern?
So each Cotton-top has little things that make them unique for us. Now we do have males and females. This one here, oh, hello, I have a little bit of worm, that's sitting on this prop. This is actually Hippo. I can tell that it's Hippo. Her face is a lot more bigger. She is the bigger Cotton-top we have. She looks a lot like her dad. Her brow is very expressed for us. Some of our other Cotton-tops are easier to see. Logan has a white spot on the side of his ear that I look for to figure out who he is. And our mom, the dominant female that we have in this group, Gidget, actually has a shorter tail. So that's one tail signs that we look for to tell who is who. The other thing, all of our Cotton-tops, they actually get a tag on them, a little pit tag between their shoulder blades, and gives them a unique number, kind of like a name that you would give them, so to make sure that we know who's who.
So Isaiah, who's 10, this is a good question. He wants to know why their colors are separated.
So their colors are separated. So the way that their hair is, or their fur, especially on the top of their head, is really important. They use that kind of as a warning sometimes for their other Cotton-tops in their group, so they can puff that fur up, especially on their head, and that's a good sign to let everybody know that there may be danger around or to be cautious. So those different colors and patterns allow them to look at each other and have that different behavioral language to each other.
This is a fun one. You want to know how far they can jump?
Cotton-tops are great climbers and jumpers. They can jump a few feet, but I'm not exactly sure the amount of distance it is in a number-wise, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is a good question. Is it legal to have them as a pet?
So that is an interesting question if they are legal to have as pets. Cotton-tops, it's not illegal to own exotic pets in the state of Florida, but Cotton-tops populations aren't doing well in their natural environment, mainly due to habitat loss, but also the illegal pet trade. So unfortunately, a lot of them are taken from their natural environments to be sold as pets, and a lot of them don't make that trip here, and a lot of them don't make good pets. They are social animals, so they're going to spend a lot of time with their family, and they're going to be more than one. They eat a lot, and they're very hard to work with just because of their social dynamics. So they do not make good pets, but it is a work in progress to help bring that population up. But yes, you can technically own them in Florida.
So Wendy and Lillian have two questions that go hand in hand. You want to know their life expectancy, and then how can you tell if they're sick?
So Cotton-tops, they can typically live to their teens in their natural environment in human care. They can live easily into their 20s. The oldest known Cotton-top lived to be about 24 years old in human care. One of the biggest things that we look for in our animals, if we want to make sure that they're doing well, is one, we do weigh them, make sure that they're gaining that weight that they need. The other thing, when I feed them those high-valued foods, I can get them up close and personal, so I can see if they have cuts or bruises on them, make sure that their skin and their body looks well. The other thing is they will behave a little bit differently. They could throw up, just like you and I can get stomach aches and not feel so great. They may not eat as much as they probably should, or show different behaviors, or simply just seem super lethargic or sleepy. Cotton-tops are awake in the dawn and go to bed at dusk. If that behavior changes in any way, shape, or form, we know that something could be wrong.
Ava and Elijah want to know how much they weigh when they're born.
It is a little bit tricky. So when Cotton-tops are born, they're actually a little bit bigger than you expect them to be. They're about 15 to 20% of the mom's body weight. So that seems pretty intense. To give a reference, when a human baby is born, they're about 5% of a mom's body weight. So that's a pretty big difference. So they are quite big, and they typically will give birth to twins. And the big thing with Cotton-tops is that everybody's gonna help take care of those babies, especially because they're a little bit heavier than normal. They're gonna be carrying them on their back. So that can be very taxing, you can imagine. So everybody's gonna help out to carry those babies, because they're gonna be on the back for a couple of weeks before they're on their own. Okay.
Jack wants to know if they're friendly.
Cotton-tops are actually extremely territorial. So they are used to me because I have that positive relationship with them. I feed them their food, I help make their exhibit the way it is. But if another Cotton-top or a different group of Cotton-tops wanted to come here, they would actually vocalize to each other to let them know that this is actually our home, you're not welcome here. That is something that Cotton-tops are very good at. They learned a long time ago. They have strength in numbers. So they may be used to me, but once again, they're not good pets. They're not friendly in that sense.
Cool. So Tanika wants to know if they can survive in cold weather.
That's a really good question. Cotton-tops, once again, are native to Colombia in a tropical forest, so it's super warm, super humid. They do not do well in cold weather. So as we know, in Florida, it's very hot and humid, so it does make a pretty good climate for them. The other thing though, sometimes in Florida, especially during that winter time, the weather can get pretty cold and the temperature will drop. So the one thing that we do for our animals is we actually provide different ways to help regulate that temperature for them. We have heat lamps, or of course air heaters, and even areas for them to huddle together and stay in those hides together. And that's something that they have that choice and control. So they can sit in front of that heat lamp if they choose to warm their body up, or simply stand in a perch or stand and sunbathe. Things like that are really important to help make sure that they're getting everything that they need.
So for our last question, I think it would be really cool to share how we can all help Cotton-top Tamarins.
So last question is how can we help our Cotton-top Tamarins? And that's really big. So there's actually a big work that we're doing with Protecto TT. So TT is actually what natives call our Cotton-tops in Colombia. And they're doing a huge program right now. So one of the biggest things is we can help donate to that fundraising for our Cotton-tops and all that research. But they are also making these lovely tote bags that are actually plastic bags that they took out of their environment natively in Colombia and made these awesome bags that they're selling. And now all that money with buying those bags is actually going to go to that research and that conservation for their areas and keeping those places clean and promoting those jobs that those people have to keep those environments clean, as well as making the bags for them. The other big thing is to understand that, once again, Cotton-tops don't make good pets. So if someone ever asks you, I can buy a Cotton-top, should I have it as a pet? Let them know that that illegal pet trade really isn't what we want to support. We want to make sure that we're supporting local places like Central Florida Zoo and other AZA facilities that are working with our Cotton-tops and SSP and other animals to help their population grow within human care and bring up that conservation and awareness. Well, once again, thank you guys so much and enjoy Zoo to You.